So in this video, we want to look at the effect of multiplying, or should say negating, both sides of an inequality. So let's start our exploration by just taking two numbers and then choosing to compare them with the greater than and less than symbols. And the convention is that the greater than or less than symbol will always open towards the larger of the two numbers, the number that is the furthest to the right, if we were to graph it on the real number line. So in this case, it should be clear that 5 is the larger of the two numbers. So we write the inequality so that it opens towards that number. And in the context of the real number line, if here's the 0, 3 is going to be somewhere here, 5 might be somewhere here, and the inequality sign opens to the right in the direction of positive infinity, because numbers that are to the right of a number on a number line are larger than that number. 5 is to the right of 3, so it's bigger. So what happens when you negate both sides? Let's say I multiply both sides of this inequality by -1 so that I'm negating both sides. So -1 times 3 is 3, and -1 times 5 is -5. Well, the idea is that negation really reflects the number over the 0 on the number line. So 3 gets reflected over the 0 to the opposite side, to -3, and 5 gets reflected through to -5. And then this symbol has to open to the right, so it's going to slot over and move between the two, right? So on the number line, I don't need to change the direction of the symbol. I just slot it over. It needs to open towards the right, towards the larger number. The key is to recognize that when we negate, the number that was smaller actually winds up becoming the larger of the two numbers. The number that was larger winds up becoming the smaller of the two numbers. It's further to the left on the real number line. So I need to have my symbol open towards the larger of the two numbers, the number that is to the right of the other number on the number line. So to do that, I'm actually going to have to take my symbol and reverse its direction to get it to open towards the number that's further to the right on the real number line. So the moment this negation happens, the instant it happens, I must reverse the symbol direction. And it won't matter if I start with an inequality symbol that's opening the other direction. So let's say I started with a greater than sign. So let's see, -2 is greater than -5. So on a real number line, what this looks like is this. Here's my 0, let's say. Here's my -2, and then -5 is going to be sitting somewhere down here. And -2 is to the right of -5 on the real number line, so the symbol has to open up towards it. So here the symbol's opening towards the -2, so life is good. If I divide both sides of this inequality by, say, -1 to negate it, -2 will become +2, and negative divided by negative is +5. And so by negating both sides, we've reflected the -2 through the 0 over to +2, and we have reflected the -5 over to +5. And now the number that was the furthest to the left on the number line has become the number that is the furthest to the right on the real number line, and the inequality symbol has to open towards that number that's larger. So in this case, the symbol was facing leftwards. It now needs to face rightwards to be opening towards the larger number. And in fact, the moment I do the negation, I must change the direction of the inequality symbol.